Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Voxel Pro here coming at you with a Metal Gear Solid 5 E3 2015 trailer analysis. And I got my good friend with me and he's going to introduce himself.
Hello YouTubers, this is Trey Threes. Call me Threes for short. Again, like I said, no Voxel Pro here. And going to be doing this review with him. You'll see it go up on his channel, you may see it go up on my channel. XX Trey times 3, and there'll be links and whatever in the descriptions. We'll set that up.
Okay, this is very good. We're both starting out because I ain't never done this before. All right, all right. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, as we get started, I'm starting a little bit earlier in the video, where it pretty much just first shows up, like the first words. There's a I didn't really think about this, but there is a quote that it is no nation that we inhabit but a language. Make no mistake, our native tongue is our true fatherland. By Emil Cioran, Romanian philosopher. And I messed that name all up. So, did you have any thoughts on that?
Well, no, I did notice that, and I noticed how throughout the trailer, he's talking about language, and just taking language, and pretty much that's how you control people. Not by any other force but language. So I did think that was interesting, very deep philosophical type of approach to that.
Yeah. And especially, you just made me think about it with Quiet, with, in past E3s or whenever her character was introduced, we see her as the sniper that was deprived of her words. And he actually mentions that somewhere along this trailer. But moving on, if it will go off the words. So we see, as I'm playing it just normally, we see a blood-stained wall. I paused it at about 12 seconds where I see a blood-stained wall with a pan down of the Diamond Dogs logo. And it is and then we go forward from there, and we kind of see this dead soldier with his head kind of, I guess, bowed down. And at about 19 seconds, we were talking about this guy that's, he's on the floor, but he's dead. Like, there's no two ways about that. He's dead. He's got a lot of blood coming out his wrist or something, or there's a lot of blood by his wrist. Either way, it ain't pretty. He's definitely seen better days. And I'm thinking that this is either a dead R&D or a medic, or where do you think that we are in this trailer and at this specific time? At about
clearly, it's some Diamond Dog space. Clearly,
yeah.
Like you said, it's based off of the rest of the soldiers that you see in this one here. Me, in my mind, you see lab coat, so I'm thinking it has to be like med unit. Just because white lab coat is what I instantly think is med unit. So yeah, somewhere maybe in that area of the facility.
Yeah, most definitely. And then because that's what I had to, based off of the coat. Yeah, you can kind of see, and then you see his glasses, and that makes you think that it's either like those like operating glasses that they have to where they don't want to like blood to sprackle up on their faces. Or safety goggles or something like that. And then, as we're playing this, Snake walks by, and we notice as we go slowly here that it is that there's flashes of yellow light, but what's interesting to note within those flashes of yellow light that there's slight pulses of red. I had no thoughts on that. It's just kind of weird that that's happening. But I can't exactly say for sure what it is.
So do you think that the light is like that it flashes yellow and red, or do you think it's just yellow and they added a red effect to the train?
You know what? That could be too. I think that could be too, because most definitely you see how when it's flashing red, there's an unnatural black to it. You know, where like it looks like it fades in and out, like it's flashes of like a what you want to call it. You know how when you turn something in like Photoshop or whatever, the transparency like goes down with like opacity or something like that. How it might go down in that specific instance, and on like another layer they added like a kind of like a black background to it. And that's probably what it is. So yeah, so we see him walking. He's stepping over bullets. Keep in mind I can't hear the audio right now, because I'm trying to only get the audio from us.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have your headphones on and you have the audio on.
Yep.
But maybe you can tell me what it's saying as we arrive at the 27th second mark, where you see him in his MSF suit.
Just going back to the whole the light thing. If you go back, when he first starts walking, you see the light. It actually looks like it's one of those spinning lights. You know what I'm saying?
Like one of those rotation.
Yeah, like a rotational light, kind of like you would typically have, let's say, an evacuation measure or something like that, some type of alarm light. And then not until after, they're kind of focused on his face and you see him walking, that it starts doing that, yellow to red flash, and it's more of a dimming, like it, shines yellow, then it dims and shines red. So I don't know if it's two different lights or if that's the same light or what. But I was thinking like it could be, a mix of an alarm light and a caution type of evacuation light, just kind of all in one. But just noticing those differences going from there, how the light kind of changes.
Yeah, most definitely. And you kind of see it's because it's plain at first that it's yellow.
Yeah.
But as we see him walking down the hallway, well, actually, we'll get to the transitions. Like I said, we see. Well, what's interesting to note is that he actually is in his Ground Zeroes outfit, and then we see him walking, and then you hear the audio. Now, like I said, I can't hear it. But to the best of my knowledge, Skullface is saying something to the effect of, "Oh, well, back in the day, I had to do some things that made me become more of a more different, And then that's when we see them splicing in transition. There's a split second where you see a silhouette of Snake, and there's a kind of a red pulsating background. I just so happened to pause it on the right time, but we see it. Then we see him change into the next outfit. This olive drab, however you want to say it. With this horn, and we see that, like you said, that this yellow light now kind of has a red filter to it, because it might just be a red filter because his skin is looking like his overall skin where the blood isn't is looking a little bit more red, a little bit more tan. So I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, on how this transition has taken place.
Not too much. Like I said, this again puts us out there as far as the Metal Gear. Big fan of the story. Now, as far as games, I've really only played Ground Zeroes through to completion, mostly just a story. So I won't say I did anything extra, but the Ground Zero story and then Guns of the Patriot story I played through completion. And then as far as everything else, I've been kind of watching your videos, Voxel, and reading wikis and stuff like that, because I am extremely interested and immersed in the story. Just not the best stealthy game player, so. But I didn't even notice that. Like, the first time I watched it, maybe I wasn't thinking about it or wasn't looking for it, but I didn't notice that as he was walking down the hallway, his uniform was changing. I did notice the whole horn thing, and how it went from being, not really pronounced, maybe just like a minor scar, and then just this full blown, ram horn or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But also to your comments, this whole first 34 seconds while he's walking down there, Skullface is mostly talking about, again, language, and how he had different, different leaders, and each of those different leaders spoke different languages, and so he was forced to learn and speak many different languages every time every time his master changed, he would have to learn a new language. So.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Also, the fact that you already talked about, his horn is getting longer, and he actually becomes more. I don't know what the correct term is for it, but I guess I would say bloodified. See, for the YouTubers listening out here, I make up words on the spot because I don't know the proper words. I didn't do well in English class, is what I'm saying. So, I make up words on the spot based off the way that's the only way that I can say those words. Okay, so I'm thinking that this whole scene is either a flashback or it is a dream of what is to come, because we saw that, and you said you played Ground Zeroes, right?
Yep.
So by the end, and there's spoilers for YouTubers out there if you haven't played Ground Zeroes,
Spoiler alert. Yeah, you gotta flash that.
Yeah, spoiler alert. And I'll probably put a skip to button in there. But remind me to do that when we get to the part with the scars and everything.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I the last time we were in Ground Zeroes, the last part was, Mother Base's destruction. We got Paz out, the Operation Trojan Horse. I think that's really the mission name for their in-story mission name for Ground Zeroes. It's not called Ground Zeroes. I don't think that they're that good enough to be self-referential. But I think they call it Operation Trojan Horse or something like that. That's kind of an in-line reference, but not like a game referencing itself. I don't know. Maybe not. But the fact that he might be, at one point in time, going back in there and, seeing all the dead bodies, and they just so happen to be laid out the same way that it is in the Diamond Dogs base. Or this is a dream where where his past and his present kind of mesh together, Or this is the same, and this is probably more plausible. This is the same mission, the same cutscene, and it's played at 3 different stages, and they just so happen to have 3 different outfits on at 3 different stages of progression, and I think that one's a little bit more plausible, I think. And as we go down the line, he's walking slowly. It's like he does that type of walk that you see in an action movie where something blows up in the background.
Yeah.
He's doing that type of walk, but it's yeah, but nothing's blowing up. I don't know really what else to say there.
Or he also has that air to where how that just determination. You know what I'm saying? Like they about to go. Like, I'm about to go do this. Like, it's about to go down. That's like he done came in. He saw some stuff. Maybe he had his moment, and then he got up. Like, yeah, it's about to happen.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's that. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing there. Is like, and then just looking at like you said, once we go through the whole trailer, looking at the trailer as a whole, because of course you and I both have watched this a few times, and so yeah.
Well, he might be going to see Miss Green to talk about the note that Miss Green stapled to his chest. He came in, he said it's about to go down.
Miss Green. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going, and the whole thing of the Phantom Pain has been like a couple of the themes is race and revenge, and we see through this thing is that that's a couple of things that we saw in the past E3s that we said it said that men will become demons, and the horn sticking out, the kind of like the blood red, well, because it's actual blood, I don't even know why I said that, the red that we see on his face, the horn,
it's just becoming more pronounced as the horn becomes more pronounced. Yeah,
right, that he's becoming more of a demon. And in fact, even when you see him start off walking out in his MSF outfit, you see one of his eye, and then he turns into the demon at the second stage, and then you can't see his right eye. Is it? Hold on, I gotta turn around. His left eye. Yeah, I have to figure that out. You can't see his left eye, and then as he finally emerges, you kind of see a glimpse of his eye as he's still he becomes the full demon. You see his left eye, and he still has that angry look about him, and he still is in the business of handling his. So yeah, so I think that's all for that scene. Now, we didn't, as we were practicing this for the YouTubers out there, we do practice our stuff, so don't think that we're just going off the top of the head. I didn't mention this, but at about 47 seconds, this is already past the whole thing of the walking down the hallway. We see a sink and a whole lot. Listen, this puts that scene in Matrix to shame. Like when they say, "Oh, we're gonna need guns," who keeps rocket launchers and missile launchers and assault rifles and battle rifles?
Or his in there. Yeah.
Oh, there's a shield in there.
Yeah.
There's like that. I didn't point that out in my notes, but there's a shield where that has to be a shield because it's got the DD logo on it and the shape kind of weird. And we've seen the this is we're recording this for the YouTubers out there, past the date where they already released the 40-minute gameplay trailer of the E3 2015 demo. Yeah, that has to be a shield. It's got the Diamond Dogs logo on it. It looks like the shield that they're offering in either the packs or the in-game shield. I'm trying to think of where this is.
Yeah, right. That's the comment I was gonna make too. So if we look at, up to this point, he's walking in the hallway, and then we think it's the med unit, and then we go into this bathroom, which, I mean, if you look at, it's just a sink and a mirror.
Yeah.
They got the drapes, so it still could be in the med unit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this is, the weapons depot area, but I think it might still be like the med unit. I mean, come on, it's a military, military base.
Oh yeah.
So
most definitely.
I don't think it'd be uncommon, for Metal Gear and Big Boss to have guns everywhere. Everybody has to be ready at all times. So
yeah, but that ready? What goes down where you need a missile? Like, I could see. Okay, yes. A couple of assault rifles, yes, but look off to the side. If your paws there, look off to the side. You got the in-game cardboard box that you see that you use to hide from enemy. What? Come on, really?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I was Big Boss, I would have guns everywhere too. Like
Okay.
like in Men in Black, where they go to just a random apartment.
Oh yeah.
And open up the wall, and it's just a room just full of weapons. Yeah, you never know what happens. Maybe somebody takes out, your weapons depot, and
you need a backup.
Backups now, yeah.
Yeah. So. See, okay, fine then. I'll let that go. Because you brought up that and I didn't think of that. That's actually pretty brilliant. I said either Snake is in his personal room, and and his room just so happens to be like bigger than like everybody else's, and kind of like the master bedroom at the base, because he's Big Boss, and that's his like personal bathroom, and he keeps all that stuff in there. I still never heard somebody keeping all that stuff in a real live military base by the sinks and stuff like that. I've never heard of that. So it's either his personal room, where that's his personal bathroom, or it's or it might be a bathroom, or it might be an armory. I've never seen a sink in an armory either, or heard about it. So that where this is, that's completely lost on me. But going ahead, I'm going ahead to 51 seconds. We see a close-up of wherever this is. This is the Mirror's Ledge. Yep. On wherever this is. In a close-up, we see pills, tweezers, blooded bullets, scissors, the e-cigar. That's I'm assuming that's what that flute-looking thing is, right next to the tape, and the tape of David Bowie's "The Man Who Sold the World." That's literally who sings that tape.
Yeah.
I just point out the things. That's really the reason why I said, that might be his personal bathroom.
Okay. Not to mention, like you said, the bloody bullets, and he obviously probably pain pills, and he got like specialty tools to be able to like extract, you extract bullets,
Oh yeah.
Gunshot wounds, and so yeah, I mean, you're right. Maybe it is his personal room, and he's always more than ready.
Oh, oh man, if more than was at any time in history a understatement, it would be this time. Oh man. And you know what? You just said something that that made me think of something else. You said that those were pain pills.
Maybe some of them probably are, I would think, or something.
Yeah, that's a really good thing because guess what? It's called the phantom pain for a reason. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's probably taking meds to deal with the pain of arm loss, you know, or something else. To be honest, I still don't. We're gonna get to that. Let me just. Okay, fine. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna say it right now. There's two things that I don't know about this game right here for you YouTubers out there, and even to how did you say your name? I want to say Double X Trex 3.
No, just call it threes. Just call it threes. That's it.
Okay,
Threes.
threes.
Yeah.
You know what? Three sounds like that one of those Star Wars clone troopers that was on Star Wars Clone Wars.
I like Star Wars.
No, I'm saying because there was a dude on there named Fives. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, the pain pills. I don't know exactly how he gets the shrapnel in his head or how he loses his arm. Like nobody has yet to reveal that. Like apparently sometime in between the time that he came into the hospital, fell into the coma, and then awoke from the coma, his arm was missing and he had giant shrapnel in his head. And it wasn't because of the helicopter crash. But we're gonna get to that. I'm gonna rant about that on another video.
Okay. Like let's say, okay, the shrapnel will let you have your shrapnel. I can propose a good theoretical situation on what happened to his arm. So helicopter crash happened, maybe he injured his arm in some way to the point where they had to amputate it.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
It could still be there and intact, but it was injured in some way to where they had to cut it off, or maybe some infection or something. But while he was in a coma, but in some way, we see at the ground zeros, see him kind of all there, but maybe something along those lines that happened there.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I didn't think about it, but I give you that one.
But the shrapnel one, yeah, I'm with you. I'm still waiting to see how that plays out.
Because
so,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we'll give you whatever theories or whatever you have on that one. Hey, I'll go with it.
You know what? Actually, I take back my take back on that because I just thought of something else. There's a trailer out there somewhere in the tubosphere, somewhere out there in the cybersphere, the Twitter sphere, that, well, I don't know what else to call these places, where there's a trailer of Snake, and it's a pretty early build of the game, granted, and it's Snake, and he's in the helicopter. The helicopter is just fine. And the scene takes place, I'm assuming, after the helicopter crash. Because his face is bloody, and he's standing up on the chopper, and he's in his MSF outfit. He looks essentially the way that he does in the menu on Ground Zeroes after the whole main mission.
Okay.
And he's looking out the window. He's looking out the that side, where the door opens up at.
Right. Yep.
And he's just looking out the window, and he has both arms on the edge of the helicopter thing. So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, well, he had both his arms there, so clearly that couldn't be it. So then, how did he get into the coma now? You know what? Whatever. Let's just move on.